Now here in this assembly, led by the protector of the Kaji teachings, the Gyalwang Karmapa, as well as all the great master of the Kaji lineage, the gatherings of the Sangha, and everyone in the Sangha, as well as of all the lay men and women who are present today. I'm delighted that I am able to come here for a short visit during this Kaji Malam today. So now I would like to offer my welcomes and Tashi Dilek to everyone on this occasion. Likewise, this evening, now everyone has come here to given me a wonderful welcome, and I'd like to thank everyone for such a wonderful welcome. So as everyone knows, we are all followers of the same teacher, the Buddha. Likewise, in our Tibetan, all of the different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism all have the motivation of bodhicitta. In the middle, they practice the sutras and the tantras. And then in the end, they all achieve the result of Buddhahood. And so whatever way you look at it, there is no distinction at all. They're all the same. And so however the difference is when the lineages came from Tibetan, it came from India to Tibet. Then there were the different translators who translated. And then there were the the instructions were passed down through different lineages of gurus. And so for that reason, because there are infinite different disciples with many different inclinations and benefits and who have different needs, and so for that reason we have different dharma that you could say that we need. So whether we emphasize practice or whether we practice just emphasize teaching, there are differences. But however, there's a slight difference. But if we said it, but as I just said, all the Buddhas are the same. There is no greater or lesser wisdom, nor is there any difference in the compassion of the Buddhas. But because of the different inclinations, there are different deities, the wrathful, the peacefully, some who are singular, some who have large retinues, and so there are many different types of deities who occur. And so at this time, primarily because of the kindness of the Dalai Lama especially, if we think about it in a vast way, we have the ability to develop connections between all of the different religions of this world. Likewise, all of the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism have the pure vision of this, and this is something that we should take delight in. And if we think about the Sakya and the Kaiju, as I often say, we Sakyas have great connections with all the different religions in terms of history, but especially when we take. But of course, there are differences in the philosophy. Of course, when we talk about the philosophical differences, but with the Sakyas and the people who founded the lineage, the people who spread the lineage, and so all of this, so all the people who spread the Sakya lineage were great scholars, and they passed down these. And so they were the members of the Kuren lineage, and so they practiced the Yidis and they practiced Yidam deities, and they developed practice. And the Nyingpa, and so the Nyingma lineage is like the ancestor of all the dharmas. Then during the time of Kun Kunchen Gyabo, seeing that it was time to benefit beings, the Palden Sakya, the glorious Sakyapa, founded the Sakya lineage. And so the different, so the Kaiju and the Sakyapa are therefore like children who are born at the same time. So the place that we come from is the same place as the old. Now the main person of the 5 early Sakya lineage was the Kun Jessen Namga, and he was inseparable from the 5 great masters of the Sakya. And so this is Kun Kunga Rinchen. Likewise. And then he was also predicted many times by the Buddha himself. However, we talk about this in practice. Mochen Dorje Chang, if we do not talk about it, was a rather stubborn person. If we aren't too, because when he was something. He was very insistent, he was very careful about all the practice, all the translation, and all of the study that went at that time. And he held his own tradition, and he was a great being who upheld the Sakya tradition. And so he composed an explanation of the Hivadra Tantra, and there are many different. There's of course many different explanations. And where the Indian Panditas, where their explanations were not tenable, he refuted them. Likewise with the Tibetan scholars, there are many different explanations among the Tibetans, but he always said that the tradition that came down from Marpa the translator was wonderful and excellent, and he never refuted it. Likewise, when you look at the Sakya texts, for example, in each of the Gelupa monasteries, for example, each monastery has its own set of texts. Similarly, in the Sakya tradition, we have many different sets of texts that we use. But in any case, the most excellent of all the teachings of the most explanation of the five Sakya forefathers' explanations was that by Sunam Goram Jampa. And in one of his books, he described all of the different Madhyamaka vows, the view of being free of any elaborations, as it was described by the great Tibetan translators, was described by the Sakya masters, and is described by Milarepa. And he said that this is described by all of them in unison. So the same view. Now, of course, there's no surprise that the view is the same. So the same. Now, of course, there are differences in the ritual practices. Now, there are different ways that we play the cymbals and play the drums. These different from every different monasteries have slightly different rituals. Sometimes even because the difference in language or the dialect, the difference is, because, if you talk about the people who come Tupa or the people who come from Amda, they have different dialects. So if we say, the way that we play the cymbals are different, the way we play the difference is different. But actually the meaning comes down to the formula. It comes down to be the same. And so in this respect, all of our lineages are exactly the same. Likewise, the previous Karmapa, the 16th Karmapa, I met him when I was young in Lhasa. There was a great. I was very young at the time, but there was a meeting held in Lhasa, and so I came at that time. But Karmapa was very, very kind to me and cared for me very well. He was very kind to me. Likewise, once I came to India, I've had the and I also met him in the hospital in Delhi when he was in the hospital in Delhi. And he was very pleased with me. He was very kind to me at that time as well. And so he said, and he said it's very important for us to uphold the new tantras. Now, the new translation of tantras are a great treasury for all of us. But still, in this question, now, there are some different. There are several different tantras that are not included in the four tantras, and that are included in different texts that were not included in the actual collections. So we do need to collect all of these. He gave me this, and he asked me about this. He was very kind to me in asking this. Now, likewise, generally, all of us, there are the great masters appeared in the end, in later times, and he was very kind to They're very kind to all of us. Because whether we have the different, there are all of the traditions that come down through the different treasuries that were done. These were the collections by Jamgon Khyentse Wangpo, Jamgon Kongtrul Lo that now have been passed down to us through their kindness. And if these were something that we need to gather now, we would not even know what empowerments there were to give or how to do this. But at this time, we are able to, they're just ready for us to practice, and this is their kindness. In particular, Jamgon Kongtrul Lo was especially kind for us. If we think about it from our terms of asakyas, for the sakyas, we have the 9 cycles of the path, and above the first of these is the path and the result, Lamje. And the Lamje has been the primary tradition of instruction in the Sakya tradition. There have been many instructions and instruction manuals and given about it, and notes about this. There are many different texts on this, but however, for the later ones, these are the instructions of the Indian masters that were given down into the Sakya lineage, and the root, and in the root of this is the Indian text. Then above that, there are the great forefathers. There are short commentaries on these. And most of these are merely only have the tradition of the Lung transmission. But Jamgon Rinpoche received them and he taught them. And he made the kind and the clearest and most wonderful explanations of these are the instructions that were written by Jamgon Kongtrul Lo Tai. And so this is just a bit of the history that I wanted to mention. This completes the empowerment, the short empowerment. So that completes the actual part of the empowerment. So now, as I said before, We are all that follows the same teacher, and in particular, Gyalwang Karmapa, the previous Gyalwang Karmapa, was extremely kind to me when I was young, extremely kind to me when I was young, and he took care of me with great kindness. Now the 17th Karmapa also, I met him first in the Dalai Lama's residence in Dharamsala, and at the time, I've met him at various different long life offerings and so forth, particularly when receiving, a couple of years ago, the Dalai Lama gave a teaching on Guhya Samadhi Tantra. At that time, we took these vast and extensive teachings together. And at this point, we have a very profound and close connection in terms of the Dharma. And His Holiness has extremely vast activity for the Buddhism in general, and particular in the Munam, during the Munam time, for the conduct of the Vinaya and the rules of the Vinaya. It has taken great interest in the precepts of the Vinaya. And this is something that everyone has praised greatly, and I for myself, is not just with words, but also I really rejoice in this from the depths of my heart. The reason for this is that the foundation of the teachings is the Vinaya, as it said. So when the as we said, as the great masters of forefathers of Tibetan Buddhism said, train in the foundation of the train in the Vinaya as a foundation of the Vinaya. The reason for this is that the Vinaya, someone who practices the Vinaya as one who has gone forth wearing the saffron robes, if you are not that, even though there are many who are many great yogis who have high realization, they're not able to really practice it naturally. And so for that reason, it is great benefit, very benefit for us to be able to practice the Vinaya ritual discipline. So I rejoice in this greatly. And likewise, all of you, please, all of you, just as His Holiness has requested, please put this into practice just as He has instructed you. The reason for this is that if there are many who take interest in the Dharma, in the past when we were in Tibet, we just only knew what was in our own place. And other people, outside people, didn't really know. We didn't know outside people. We didn't know outsiders. Other people didn't know us. We didn't know what was going on. We just thought what was going in Tibet was all there was. But now it's like all of the gates have been opened, and so everyone can see what we can do. Everyone knows what we're doing, and we can know everything that everyone else is doing outside. And so it's a time when everything is. And so when we think about this one aspect, it's very good, very good. If we think about it from another perspective, there are more distractions that happen. There are also many faults that also occur. But in any case, this time when you're in a position where the teachings in Tibetan Buddhism in particular are in a very difficult position, is important for us to practice. If we're able to go into practice, then we need to practice true Dharma. If we're teaching to others, then we need to teach. If it is really true and if we authentic Dharma, then this is something that will become a cause that will, or the best way to bring the Tibetan Buddhism to flourish. And if it does, even if it does not turn out well. So, since we are in a position when a very critical point, it's important that we have to take this into heart. So it's just as all the Master of the Past said. It's just as the past. We should say. It says that our conduct should be in accord with the Vinaya, our view in accord with the sutras, and our practice in accord with the tantras. And so, just if we do this, then we'll be able to for ourselves gather great accumulation of merit, and for others bring great benefit to others. It'll have great benefit for all. And so, when we're teaching the Dharma, And if we are able to teach Dharma everywhere, then this is extremely a great sign of virtue. So please, everyone, keep this in mind. And from my own perspective, we have extremely close connection, profound connection between our dharmas. So just as Gyowan Karmapa, His Holiness Gyowan Karmapa, leading among all of the teachers who are upholding the lineage, may they all have long lives. May they be free of all impediments and accomplish all their activity spontaneously. May the Sangha be harmonious, have good discipline, and because of that, may all of the worlds and may all of the areas of the world, may all the conflict be naturally pacified and all of the virtue naturally increase. May people's human lives have meaning. So I make the aspiration that this be so.